Welcome, travellers, to a world where imagination breathes life into the forgotten realms. Where the roll of a die can change the fate of kingdoms, and where stories shape the very fabric of our epic journeys. In today's video, we embark on a quest to understand why story is the beating heart of every unforgettable Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Picture this. A grand castle stands tall against the backdrop of a blood-red sunset. Within its walls, a queen mourns the loss of her kingdom, taken by a dark sorcerer. Heroes are called upon, not just to defeat a foe, but to restore hope, reclaim honor, and rewrite destiny. As a DM, story provides the purpose behind every campaign, the motivation behind every action. It's the foundation upon which characters build their lives, their dreams, and their fears. It is the why behind the what. Conflict and resolution are the core of any great story. As our heroes face insurmountable odds, their struggles and triumphs become our own. We cheer their victories, mourn their losses, and learn from their choices. Regardless of the lore and detail of our worlds, most great stories follow a common arc. The Dungeon Master can use these conventions to make their campaigns engaging, exciting, and meaningful to their players. This arc can be divided into several key stages. The Exposition. Inciting incident, rising action, the climax, falling action, resolution, and denouement. 1. The Exposition. The exposition can be thought of as the introduction to our campaign. The story begins with the exposition, where the setting, characters, and the basic situation are introduced. Background provides information necessary to understand the context of the story, such as the history of the world, key locations, and relationships between characters. Here, you can foreshadow, hint at events to come, setting the stage for the upcoming conflict. The adventurers meet in a tavern and are introduced to a small town threatened by a mysterious force. They learn about each other and the world they inhabit. 2. Inciting incident. Think of this as a trigger event. An event occurs that sets the story in motion and introduces the main conflict or problem that the characters must address. There will often be a call to action. The protagonists are compelled to take action, beginning their journey or quest. A villager bursts into the tavern, pleading for help because the village's children have been kidnapped by goblins. 3. Rising action. Here there will be a series of challenges. The characters face a series of challenges and obstacles that build tension and develop their skills and relationships. There is great opportunity here for character development. Characters grow, change, and reveal more about themselves through their actions and decisions. Encounters can create complications. Complications arise that make the initial problem more complex and difficult to solve. The adventurers track the goblins through the forest, encountering traps, wild beasts, and rival factions. Each challenge escalating in difficulty and danger. 4. Climax. The climax should be the main turning point of the story. It should also be the most intense part of the story, where the characters face the central conflict head-on. A good climax in D&D should have high stakes. The outcome of this confrontation will determine the direction of the rest of the story. There should be a high emotional peak. The characters are tested to their limits, and the players experience the highest level of emotional engagement. The adventurers infiltrate the Goblin stronghold and confront the demonic Goblin King in a decisive battle to rescue the children and put an end to the Goblin threat. 5. Falling action. In the immediate aftermath of the climax, the consequences of the player's actions should begin to unfold. There should be resolution of subplots. Any remaining subplots are addressed and resolved. We should then transition to closure of the story. The story starts moving towards its natural conclusion, wrapping up any loose ends. After defeating the Goblin King, the adventurers help the children return to their village, dealing with any remaining Goblin forces and receiving the villagers' gratitude. 6. Resolution. Here the story should reach its natural conclusion, providing closure to the main plot and character arcs. There should be an opportunity for reflection. Characters and players reflect on their journey and gain a sense of the overall impact of the story. You can also consider future implications, hints of what might come next for the characters or the world, leaving room for sequels or further adventures. The adventurers are hailed as heroes in the village. They reflect on their journey, share what they've learned, and perhaps receive hints about future threats or quests that await them. 7. Denouement. This is an optional step. I recommend a denouement if you know you will not be returning to the campaign. Here, we can have the final tidying up. The denouement ties up any remaining loose ends and provides finality to the story. You may consider an epilogue, sometimes included to show the longer-term consequences of the characters' actions and how their world has changed. Months later, the village is flourishing, and the adventurers have moved on to new quests, but they remain legends in the village's history. An epilogue might show one of the rescued children growing up to become a hero, inspired by the adventurers. By understanding and incorporating these stages into a D&D adventure, the Dungeon Master can create a compelling and engaging story that captivates players and makes their journey memorable. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more content like this, please like and subscribe.